everybody, this is Eric with Better Every Shave, where I try to increase my wet shaving skills a little bit each and every shave. And today I'm going to try something a little bit different. I've tried standing up and doing the normal sort of stand in front of the mirror and talk through the shave process, and unfortunately for me that's a little difficult because of my oxygen situation. And so what I'm going to do instead is I've taken some footage already of me shaving, and I'm going to talk through some of that footage and narrate it, and also cut away and show the different gear I've used and things like that, and hopefully be able to patch together something that resembles something you're familiar with, or at least something that you'll be interested in watching. The other thing that I'd like to try to do is to keep my videos a little bit shorter than the average shave video. I think a lot of people try their best to do that, but there's something contrary to that. If you think of wet shaving in general, you know, we're trying to relax, take our time, enjoy it usually. So rushing through it isn't exactly the best experience. And so this lets me take my time shaving and maybe just cut in and out and take some of the pieces out that are a little more boring and still kind of give you the essence of what happened. So what I'd like to do, if I can, is to kind of keep my videos around 10, maybe 15 minutes. This will help, I think, hopefully, with people being able to watch my videos and not have it being yet another 30-minute video in their feed. I know I certainly try to get through all the videos from the creators that I like to follow, but sometimes that can be challenging because there's a lot of them. All right, so the shave today, I've been about, it's about 5 days since I shaved, maybe 4 days. And I'm going to do a pre-shave with some shaving butter. It is from Hagen, or Hagen, I'm not sure exactly how you say that, but this is a brushless shave cream, shave butter, if you will. And it's really not particularly great as a shaving cream, at least not for me. It's really cloying, very thick, sort of pasty. Really makes you feel like the razor's sticking to your face, to me at least. Again, I'm sure lots of people use this and are perfectly happy with it, but for me at least, I am not going to use it as a shaving cream, so I figure, hey, why not try it as a pre-shave? And so far it seems to be working pretty well. This is a 6-ounce tube of this, and it's probably going to take me I don't know, a decade to get through it, but hey, I'll keep working on it, and hopefully it will do its job of softening my whiskers and get me through some shaves. So, all right, so today I'm using Hendrix Classics & Co. Their Badass scent. I will also be using a Jayaruh 287, which has a synthetic horsehair knot. I'll be using my Gillette Slim, and I'll have it on setting 6. And in that, I'll have a Tatra Platinum blade, which I received a pack of with my winning razor, which I recently bought. I was so impressed with the blade in the winning razor that I've used it a couple more times. This is actually my 3rd use of this blade, and it is a really, really fantastic blade, at least in my experience so far. I've enjoyed it possibly more than any other blade I've tried, honestly, which was definitely a surprise for me. So I am going to just load up the brush and do a face lather. And this is a very soft knot. There isn't much backbone at all. I'm not really used to that. Even with my synthetics, they generally have a thicker knot on them, or at least a little bit more backbone to them. And so this was a little bit sloppy, kind of, going through getting it loaded from the tub being so soft. And so I really wanted to get a good load in there and make sure I had enough, because it's also not a particularly tall knot. There's not a lot of loft to it. I wanted to make sure there was as much soap in there as I could get so that I had enough for the shave. I also made a huge mess while I was doing it, which, it's funny. A part of me thinks that it's like the reason I love shaving like this so much is because it's like being a kid almost in some ways. So, I get to play with soap and, think back to when you're a kid playing with your toys in the tub, I kind of get that same sensation. So I've got it all loaded up, and I like to just paint it on a little bit to start. And yeah, it is literally flying everywhere. It's on my shirt. It's on the sink. It's on the counter. It's okay. It's just soap. So, yeah, I really want to start bowl lathering more. I think I default to face lathering just because it's easy for me. And I've had a little bit of challenge with getting a decent lather from a bowl lather. And I want to keep working on that. So I think in the future you'll probably see me doing more with bowl lathering than I have to this point. Hendrix Classics & Co. is just such a fantastic soap. Very, very lush, very creamy. You know, and I did load it up quite a bit, but honestly, if you were to measure that out and scoop it, it was not very much that ended up in the brush. So I should mention that I have not had good luck with this razor. It's one of the first razors I bought whenever I started wet shaving about 7 or 8 months ago. And I really have tried it, geez, I mean, 24 times maybe. I mean, I've used it. I feel like that's a decent amount of times to have sort of figured out how a razor works, and I just can't quite seem to get a good shave out of it. No matter what I've tried lots of different blades and different settings, and so what I'm trying to do this month is to focus on things that have not worked well in the past. I've had plenty of razors and blades and different things, and so this is one of the top things that I feel like I've failed in making work, because I see people tell me, how much they love their Slims and that they work so well for them. So, I really wanted to see if I could get a good shave out of this. So I went ahead and did my first pass there. You saw me just finish that up, and I was feeling my cheek, and it really, I wasn't sure how this was going to end up at this point. It didn't feel any better than previous shaves had. And there's no irritation. It's not like it's an uncomfortable shave. I just can't seem to get a good close shave. I'm doing a normal 3-pass shave here. This is my across the grain, sideways across the grain on my cheeks. And what I've figured out, and I'll probably skip ahead a little bit here. I'm sorry to ruin the surprise spoilers in my own videos, but I am feeling as though I'm getting a better shave at this point, and I'm starting to be a little bit surprised at like, oh, this is actually working really well for me right now. And again, I'm not 100% sure. At first, when I started using this razor, I was not using good soap like I am now. I was probably not using a great blade. My technique wasn't very good, I would say. And I feel as though all of those things have changed at this point. And so that puts me in a position to be a lot more successful in getting a good shave out of this razor. So finishing up my second pass here. Yeah, still not entirely sure. Yeah, pass 3. So I'm just going straight up on my cheeks. It's kind of a couple different directions. I just go sort of straight up this way, and then I kind of switch to going straight up and back a little bit. This is always, everybody calls this the money pass or something like that. But basically this is, what finishes up a shave and is going to give me a BBS or not. And of course I'm always hoping for a BBS, but I'm never quite sure. I'm not really good enough of a shaver yet. I don't know enough. I often fail. So I'm never 100% sure how it's going to turn out until the very end. So I think here I'm starting to realize, oh, this is going really well. And here we go. On my neck is a little weird under my jawline there. It's not against the grain. It's sort of sideways like that, which is a little strange. It's sideways and back. And then on the other side, it's sideways and back for half of it. And you'll see here, so I got to go sort of up and back for this part. And then the other half, I have to sort of come forward. And the only bit of irritation I ended with, and you'll see this whenever I get to it, is just that spot I shaved right there and that I'm rubbing right there. I went a little too fast, a little too hard there. Used a little too much pressure. But other than that, this is turning out to be a really, really great shave. I've got a little bit of pickups here. Got plenty. One of the advantages to having the bushy goatee is that it holds a little bit of soap, and you can just kind of grab a little bit and rub it on your cheeks, so I don't have to lather up for my pickup pass. Yeah, and I really didn't have much. There was just a little tiny bit. There's one direction I have to kind of, yeah. And the other thing is, this has been tricky for me to kind of figure out, is to not take it too far, to kind of figure out when I've hit the sweet spot of this shave. It's not going to get much better. If I keep pushing it, it's just going to make it worse. I'm going to get irritation and ruin an otherwise perfectly fine shave. So yeah, I ended up with a really, really good shave here. So I do a warm water rinse, then a cool water rinse, and then I get out my Omega alum stick, and this is always the test. So like I said, go ahead and put this on and leave it on for about 30 seconds or so. But this spot right there, which is where I'd sort of shaved a little bit sideways, that's the only spot that I had felt some irritation. Once I finish up with the alum, I dry off, and then I apply a little bit of the Nivea sensitive balm to finish out. Thankfully, I get back on oxygen. And oh yeah, I'd been eating some sort of red candy, so my tongue is beet red. So I will say that the Slim is now sort of back in good graces, and I will continue to work with it and try different things. The Tatra blade is fantastic. I really, really like that blade. It's been a huge surprise for me to enjoy it nearly as much as I have. The soap, Hendrix Classics & Co. I mean, just fantastic, fantastic soap. And the brush, I mean, all of it just sort of magically came together for this shave in a way that sometimes it just doesn't, So I was really, really pleased with that. Let me know what you think of this format. I'm definitely interested to hear if you think this is just too much babbling. If it's just weird to not see me while I'm shaving. What I may end up doing is putting a little bit of inlay of the video, since I did record the video of me watching my other recording. It's confusing. So I think I'm going to leave it there. For everybody who has watched the few videos that I have up already and who have subscribed and commented, I really appreciate it. Some of you are people that I've been watching for months now, and couldn't tell you how happy I am to have kind words from you on my own channel. It means a lot to me to be part of the conversation and to just kind of share this thing that I'm really starting to love more and more by the day. And you're all my new shaving friends, whether you like it or not. So I hope you have a wonderful day. I hope you have a great shave if you have one, and I will see you very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.